I want to address a question that I get all the time. How do I get her on a date after I get her number? I'm going to explain very simply how you need to do this, and you pretty much need to do the same thing every single time. You're talking to a girl. Maybe you met her through a mutual friend group, or you met her somewhere randomly outside. The conversation's going well, she's giving you some energy back, then you ask for her number, or social media. Depends what you want to do. Either one's fine. In this situation, remember, you always want to get her info. You don't want to give yours with nothing in return. The main reason is you as a guy want to always make sure you're initiating. Even if the girl gets your number and likes you, she may not want to initiate because she doesn't want to seem too easy. You get her number, then you leave. And now this is where most of you guys end up messing up. You start texting right away and you start initiating some small talk because you think that texting her a lot will get her to know you better. Unfortunately, guys, all you're doing is driving yourself towards the friend zone. You have to be a little bit strategic about this early on, especially because girls can be so finicky. You say one stupid thing through text that you didn't mean to, she misinterprets it, gets emotional about it, and doesn't like you anymore. During the early phases, it can really be that simple for some of you guys. This is exactly why I tell you guys to not text too much early on, because you guys always tend to make mistakes while texting. What you should be doing is waiting 3 to 5 days, and somewhere in that range, you want to text her saying, "Hey, hope you've been doing good. Let's meet up," and you give her the time, place, and date. The reason I tell you guys to wait 3 to 5 days is not because there's some rule or standard. I'm trying to teach you guys how to emulate a healthy amount of distance. Normally, if you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, this is what you do naturally. The problem is too many of you guys are too bored, not doing enough with your lives, or you're being too overly obsessive over a girl you don't even know. As a disciplinary measure, I tell you guys to wait 3 to 5 days to try to emulate some form of scarcity. At least pretend you're busy when you're young, even if you're not. Pretend like you got stuff going on. It's healthy for her to think that she's not your top priority, especially considering you just met her this second. Now let's go back to the text. You send that text, you wait for her response. Typically, she's not going to respond to this text right away because she wants to think about it. Eventually, if she likes you enough, she's going to say yes. There are times that might probe you a bit back and forth. "Oh, you're a straight shooter. Oh, I'm not sure if I know you well enough. Maybe we should talk more first." These are all really easy things to handle. How am I supposed to talk to you if I can't see you? She might respond saying, "On the phone," to which you'll respond saying, "If you don't want to hang out, it's no problem." And then you just leave it there. She may respond saying, "Okay, let's do it," or she may just not respond at all. In the end, guys, keep it simple. You won't get friend zoned if you do this. If a girl actually likes you, she's not going to mind going to a public place and hanging out. If she doesn't like you, she'll think of a million excuses as to why she doesn't want to go out on the date. Keep it simple, guys. Don't overcomplicate your life. Now let's assume she said yes and you end up getting the date. The next question you guys always ask me is, how long should the date last? Before I get into that, I want to introduce something to you guys that would really help you with getting girls. You guys tend to always ask me basic questions. How do I text her? How often should I text her? How much time do I have to spend with her? When should I ask her out? In reality, guys, you shouldn't have to focus on any of these things. What you should be focusing on is improving your wealth, improving your social media, and improving your physique and attractiveness. This has always been the only proven way in history of ever getting the girl you actually wanted. This is exactly why I designed the perfect program to get you there. I just launched the Distinguished Living program. If you're truly interested in improving your finances, looks, and status, click the link in the description down below. You'll learn all about it there. Now let's get back to the classic question. How long should a date last? The truth, as usual, is that it's always dynamic in nature. I can't give you an exact number so that you can set an alarm on your phone when the date is over. This is stupid. It's entirely based off the emotionality, obviously. It all depends on how you're setting it up. It would be stupid if you're driving a whole hour to have a half-hour date. If it takes you 5 minutes to get there, it can be an hour and that's fine. Ideally, for a first date, you don't want to spend too much time together. So I'll give you guys a loose number. Try to keep it to no more than 3 hours. Remember though, you shouldn't be paying attention to the number itself. What you should be paying attention to is her emotionality. Is her body language indicating that she's happy to be around you? I'm not a believer that you should be taking her to bed on the first date. Some guys on the internet will talk about how you need to make this happen as soon as possible. For me though, I'm not in a rush for this. There are even situations where when you do sleep with her too quickly, it can actually cause you problems. Ideally, what you want to do is you want to cut the date short when things are going extremely well. When you guys are having a really good time and she's really happy and she's laughing a lot, at the height of her emotions, ideally after the 2-hour mark, you want to pull out your phone and say, "Oh no, I have to go." Make some sort of excuse about how you have a massive project or some work-based thing that you have to go to right now. Cut the day right there, and if you drove her, go to your car, drop her off, and go home. Most of you guys don't have the discipline to pull this off, but if you do this, I promise you your chances will be much better. That's all I got for today's video, guys. Don't forget to click the link in the description to learn how to become a better version of yourself. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.